If you're wondering which keyboards for CS2 are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. SteelSeries Apex Pro, the adjustable actuation points from 0.2 to 3.8 millimeters make this keyboard absolutely insane for Counter-Strike 2, letting you customize each key's sensitivity exactly how you want it. Though only 61 of the 104 keys have this feature, which is kind of a bummer. The build quality is fantastic with thonky clacks that won't wake up your neighbors at 3 AM during those heated matches. Plus, the OLED screen lets you adjust settings on the fly without alt-tabbing out of game. Would I buy it? Yes. The customizable actuation points alone make this worth it for competitive gaming, even if it's a bit pricey. Razer BlackWidow V4 Pro. This chunky boy comes with an 8,000 Hz polling rate that's literally 8 times faster than standard keyboards, though you probably won't notice the difference unless you're some kind of superhuman. The snap tap feature is actually game-changing for Counter-Strike 2, letting you strafe corners more smoothly by prioritizing the last key pressed. But damn, this thing is massive and takes up more desk space than my mouse pad. Would I buy it? Maybe, if you can get over the size and price. The features are actually pretty sweet for competitive gaming. Corsair K100 RGB. The optical mechanical switches have a tiny 1mm actuation point, which makes them ridiculously responsive for gaming, though they feel a bit mushy when bottoming out. It's packed with 44 zones of RGB that'll make your setup look like a rainbow threw up on it, and the ICU wheel is actually pretty useful for quick settings adjustments. But seriously, the price tag is more painful than getting wall-banged in Counter-Strike 2. Would I buy it? No, while it's a solid keyboard, there are better options at this price point for competitive gaming. Logitech G915 TKL. This wireless keyboard actually doesn't suck for gaming with its Lightspeed technology, giving you the same response time as wired keyboards, and the low-profile design feels like typing on a fancy laptop. The battery life is decent at 40 hours with RGB on, but the keycaps show fingerprints like a crime scene, and there's no wrist rest, which is pretty stingy considering the price. Would I buy it? Maybe if you absolutely need wireless and don't mind the laptop-style keys, it's actually pretty good for gaming. Keychron Q3 Max. Look, if you want a keyboard that's built like a tank and sounds better than your teammates' excuses, this is it. With its 1000 Hz polling rate over both wired and 2.4 GHz wireless, 7 layers of foam dampening, and hot swappable switches, it's basically perfect for Counter-Strike. The aluminum case makes it heavy enough to use as a self-defense weapon, but that solid build means zero flex while you're spamming that crouch key. Would I buy it? Yes, it's expensive, but the build quality and performance make it worth every penny. Wooting 60 HE Plus. This little beast is the king of competitive gaming with its Hall effect switches that let you customize actuation points down to 0.1 millimeters and rapid trigger technology that'll make your opponents call hacks. The 60% layout might be too small for some, and there's no adjustable typing angle, but the raw gaming performance is absolutely insane. Plus, it's got a 1000 Hz polling rate that isn't bottlenecked by anything. Would I buy it? Yes. If you're serious about competitive gaming, this is literally the best keyboard you can get right now. Keychron K5. Well, if it isn't the budget option that actually doesn't suck. With its 1000 Hz polling rate in wired mode and Bluetooth 5.1 for when you're not gaming, the battery life is kind of trash though, giving you only about 3 to 4 days with the RGB on, and the ergonomics could use some work since it's flatter than your aim. Would I buy it? Maybe. It's decent for gaming, but there are better options if you're purely focused on Counter-Strike. Razer BlackWidow V4 75%. Razer really went all out with this one, packing in an 8,000 Hz polling rate and some seriously good latency performance that'll make every other keyboard feel like typing through molasses. The tactile switches feel great for gaming despite not being linear, but there's this annoying key chatter issue where keys might register multiple times, not exactly what you want when you're trying to defuse the bomb. Would I buy it? No. The key chatter issues are a deal breaker for competitive gaming, no matter how good the specs look on paper. Ducky One 2 Mini. Look, if you want a compact keyboard that won't take up half your desk while you're doing those sick flicks in Counter-Strike 2, this thing is pretty sweet with its 60% form factor and Cherry MX switches that feel responsive as hell. The latency is a bit high for a wired keyboard, which might mess with your reaction time in competitive matches, but the PVT keycaps feel amazing, and the build quality is solid enough to survive your rage quits. Would I buy it? Maybe. The high latency is annoying, but the compact size and build quality make up for it. Corsair K70 RGB Pro. This bad boy comes with an 8,000 Hz polling rate that makes it insanely responsive for those clutch moments, and the tournament switch is actually useful for disabling those annoying macros during matches. The case ping is pretty bad though, making it sound like you're typing on a tin can, and it's expensive as hell for what you get. Would I buy it? Yes, despite the hollow sound. The competitive features and responsiveness are worth the money for serious Counter-Strike 2 players. Roccat Vulcan II Max. Damn, this keyboard looks like a disco party with its RGB lighting and translucent wrist rest, but more importantly, it's got Titan 2 optical switches with a 1.4mm actuation point that's perfect for those quick Counter-Strike 2 peaks. The wrist rest is way too thin to be useful during long gaming sessions, and you'll need 2 USB ports just to power all those fancy lights. Would I buy it? No, while it's fast and flashy, there are better options at this price point that won't eat up your USB ports. Corsair K70 Max. This thing is basically the K70 RGB Pro's cooler brother with magnetic switches that let you customize actuation points, which is pretty sick for getting that perfect feel in Counter-Strike 2. The switches are super responsive, and the 8,000 Hz polling rate is great, but you're paying premium cash for features you might never use. Would I buy it? Yes, the customizable actuation points and consistent performance make it worth the investment for competitive gaming. NuPhy Gem80. The 1000 Hz polling rate and smooth switches make this keyboard a beast for gaming, plus the gasket mount design gives it that sweet springy feel that won't wake up your neighbors during those late night Counter-Strike sessions. The keyboard looks clean as hell with its aluminum case, but damn, you have to buy the switches and keycaps separately, which is kind of a pain in the wallet considering the already steep $200 price tag. Would I buy it? Maybe if I had money to burn and didn't mind assembling my own keyboard. Wooting Two HE. This keyboard is straight up ridiculous with its magnetic Hall effect sensors that let you adjust actuation points by 0.1mm increments, making it perfect for those precise Counter-Strike movements. The build quality feels a bit cheap for the price, and the keycaps are about as premium as a gas station sandwich, but the analog functionality and rapid trigger feature make up for it if you're serious about gaming. Would I buy it? Yes, the customizable actuation points alone make this worth every penny for competitive gaming. Epomaker Brick 87. This keyboard tries to be cool with its Lego-compatible top panel and dual scroll wheels, but let's be real, you're not building Lego sets while clutching in Counter-Strike. The switches are smooth and the stabilizers are rattle-free, which is nice, but the stiff typing experience and loud clacky sound might get you kicked out of your gaming session by angry roommates. Would I buy it? No, there are better options at this price point that don't try to mix toys with competitive gaming. NuPhy Air75 V2. This low-profile keyboard is like the ninja of gaming peripherals. It's thin, quiet, and surprisingly capable with its 1000 Hz polling rate in both wired and 2.4 GHz wireless modes. The battery life is impressive, at up to 220 hours, but the compact layout might take some getting used to, and those closely packed keys could lead to some embarrassing misclicks during intense matches. Would I buy it? Maybe, if you're looking for a portable gaming setup and don't mind a learning curve. HyperX Alloy Origins. The build quality on this thing is absolutely insane. With its aircraft-grade aluminum frame, you could probably use it as a weapon and still type on it afterwards. The linear switches have a short pre-travel distance, making them super responsive for those quick Counter-Strike peaks and sprays, though some might find them a bit too sensitive at first. The RGB lighting looks sick, and every key is macro programmable, but the software is Windows only, which kinda sucks for you Mac gamers out there. Would I buy it? Yes, it's built like a tank and performs great for competitive gaming at a reasonable price. Razer Huntsman V3 Pro TKL. This keyboard is straight up ridiculous with its analog optical switches that let you adjust actuation from 0.1 to 4.0 millimeters, plus it has this new snap tap feature that's basically legal cheating for Counter-Strike movement. The switches are smooth as butter and super responsive, but damn, this thing is loud. Your teammates will definitely hear you rage typing in Discord. At $219, it costs more than some people's entire gaming setup, but you're getting arguably the most advanced gaming keyboard tech available. Would I buy it? Yes, if you're serious about competitive gaming and have money to burn, this is basically the Ferrari of gaming keyboards. Logitech G Pro X TKL. Finally, Logitech gave this keyboard wireless capability with their Lightspeed tech that has only 1 millisecond latency, so no more excuses when you whiff that easy spray. The PBT keycaps feel premium, and the switches are smoother than Cherry MX, but the spacebar rattles like a maraca, which is annoying as hell during those tense clutch moments. The battery life is decent, but not amazing, and for $200 you'd expect some fancier features like hot swappable switches. Would I buy it? Maybe. It's a solid wireless option, but there are better keyboards for pure competitive gaming at this price. Keychron K8. This budget-friendly keyboard is actually pretty damn good with its solid aluminum frame and reliable Bluetooth connection. Plus, it works with both Windows and Mac, which is neat. The Gateron switches feel nice and smooth, but the latency over wireless is too high for serious Counter-Strike gaming. You'll definitely want to use the USB cable for competitive play. It's got great battery life and build quality for the price, but lacks any real gaming features that would make it stand out for Counter-Strike. Would I buy it? No. While it's a great keyboard for typing and casual use, there are better options specifically for competitive gaming. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the keyboards for CS2 for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.